Hello, and welcome back to AI in Your Career. It's the week of June 5th, and here's a contradiction I want you to hold for a second. 74% of workers are using AI regularly. 46% are using it every single day. And a new study came out this week that shows the people with real AI skills are earning 56% more than their peers in the same roles without them. At the same time, only 5% of organizations have a structured AI training program. 48% just tell people to figure it out themselves, and 29% have no plan at all. So employers are paying a 56% premium for AI-skilled workers while doing almost nothing to develop those skills in the people they already have. That's the paradox, and this week we have a couple stories about it, one that explains why it's happening and what the stakes are, and one that shows you what to actually do about it. Let's start with the numbers, because they're sharper than you'd expect. The HiBob compensation study published May 18, based on actual employer compensation data, not survey intentions, found that workers with advanced AI skills are earning 56% more than peers in the same role without them. Same job title, same industry, same years of experience. The only variable is AI fluency. And again, we see this 5% number, which is utterly shocking. So now let's pair that with what Mindfinders reported on May 29th, drawing on Gloat's workforce intelligence data. 120 million workers globally are at medium-term displacement risk. The mechanism isn't overnight replacement, it's that their organizations are unlikely to invest in the reskilling that would keep them relevant as AI automates the execution layer of their work. The risk isn't AI taking the job, it's the organization quietly raising the bar without telling you. And the US government noticed the size of this gap. The Commerce Department announced $25 million in AI training grants through the EDA's AI Upskill Accelerator program. Money flowing to community colleges and workforce boards over the next 6 months. That's a meaningful signal. It is also a $25 million response to a $120 million worker problem. So applications are due by July 10th on this. We're going to put a link in the chat. But basically, as we know, this probably isn't going to go very far. And this is a major topic that we've been discussing throughout these YouTube videos, which is we don't have an issue of AI taking all the jobs, but there is a big need to train workers to be in this AI era. And those that are using this, learning it, and deploying it effectively are accelerating significantly faster and exponentially than individuals and organizations are not. So there's a lot of opportunity to get better here. So why aren't employers closing this gap themselves? It's not malicious, it's a rational calculation. Hiring an AI-skilled worker from the market is faster and lower risk than developing one internally. You get the skill immediately. You don't pay for the failure rate in training. You don't have to redesign a role around someone who is mid-transition. From a short-term cost perspective, it's a better deal to recruit them than to train. At least that's what they think. The impact of this gap is a widening split in the workforce, and it's already visible in the compensation data. So workers who are proactively building AI skills are capturing a disproportionate share of pay growth and career advancement. Workers who are waiting for a training program, for their manager to prioritize it, or for the right moment aren't doing worse. They are just falling further behind a reference point that keeps moving. There's also a sentiment gap worth noting. Helios HR found that in organizations with a defined AI strategy, 94% of employees feel positively about AI. In organizations without one, that drops to 54%. The people who feel worst about AI's impact on their careers are often the ones who've been given the least context and the least support. This is not a technology problem, it's definitely a leadership problem. So here's the honest take. You cannot wait for your employer to build the scaffolding. That's what the data says, but you also don't need to, because the entry point for meaningful AI skill building is accessible right now without a formal program, without a technical background, and without much time. Just pick one task that you do regularly, something that takes real time and produces a real result you can already judge for quality. Draft emails, summarize documents, prep for a meeting, pull together a report, and use an AI tool on that task every day for 30 days. Not to be perfect, to get familiar with how to prompt, where it falls short, where it saves you time. And that's compound interest model, small daily reps that build the muscle that makes the bigger moves possible later. And there is a lot of free training and information out there available to you. So you might want to dive into that if this is seeming really non-intuitive. And one more thing on the access question, because I hear a lot of people assume AI skill building requires a technical background. It doesn't, and the market has moved substantially in the last 12 months to make that true. By 2026, Gartner estimates 75% of new applications will be built using low-code or no-code technologies. Tools like Zapier, Make, and Microsoft Power Automate let not technical professionals build automated workflows by connecting apps visually without coding. And 80% of non-IT workers, who are now the majority of the low-code user base, aren't building software. They're automating the repetitive parts of their existing jobs, routing emails, generating reports, triggering notifications, updating records, and the entry point is genuinely beginner-friendly. That is the benefit of AI itself. The question isn't whether you can learn it. The question is whether you're willing to start with one workflow and build from there. So here's what good looks like based on what Helios HR found in organizations that gets adoption. Step 1, start with one high-value workflow, not a broad rollout. Pick a task that happens often, takes real time, and produces an output the team can already judge. HR teams drafting job descriptions, recruiters shaping outreach, operation teams building routine reports. One workflow, one team, prove it, then expand. Step 2, make it role specific. This is where most programs fail. A generic AI for everyone module doesn't tell a project manager how AI applies to status reporting or tell a marketing manager how to use it for campaign briefs. Useful AI training names the role, the task, the specific tool, and the approved prompts, and an example of what good output looks like. When you remove the guesswork, adoption follows. Step 3, pilot small and capture what works. So 5 to 10 people, 4 to 8 weeks, enough to refine the approach, surface the real questions, and build a playbook that lets you scale. The examples, the governance guardrails is what turns an individual experiment into organizational capability. And here's the effect that makes this worth doing. One AI win almost never stays contained. Once people see AI handle one task well, they start connecting it to the work around it. The HR manager who saves time on interview guides starts wondering what else it can do. For a lot of mid-career professionals in communication-heavy roles, the starting workflow is already sitting in Microsoft 365 Copilot, which Microsoft just made the default across Office 365 this week. The team's pipeline automatically drafts meeting summaries and follow-up emails. The Outlook agent called Scout sorts your inbox and flags action items. The Word integration drafts and restructures documents with tracked changes so you stay in editorial control. You don't need to understand how the model works. You need to understand what task you're starting with, what good output looks like, and how to give it enough context to be useful. That's it. Start there, use it daily, the muscle builds. And here's the frame I would leave you with. The paradox this week is access to AI is nearly universal. The premium for AI skills is 56%, and the organizational infrastructure to develop those skills barely exists. So most employers are not going to bridge that gap for you right away. But the pathway's clear and it's more accessible than most people assume. So start with one workflow, use it daily, build the playbook from what works, and expand from there. That's the individual version of what the best organizations are doing at scale, and it doesn't require a technical background, a formal program, or even a big budget. So 3 things this week. First, identify that task, do it regularly with AI, and talk to your coworkers about it as well and what they're doing. And then if you're in the Microsoft 365 environment, open Copilot and do something within it, whether it's within your email, within your PowerPoint, and again, start building it into the work you already do. Third, see what you can do with the AI Upskill Accelerator pilot program. Again, this is going to be very limited for organizations, but public funding is available. That's it. Again, we are available to help with AI strategy training and coaching. It's just about taking the first step. So we hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you next week.